But yeah, it's like, for me, like, speaking of cults, like, Chick-fil-A to
That's
me,
actually what
Chick-fil-A almost kind of feels like a cult.
it is.
Like, only because, like, you know, if I ever say thank you, they always say it's my pleasure. Every time, 100% of the time. Like, never, like, anything else.
Never no
You know, I
problem.
get
Never you're
my
welcome.
sandwich, I go, oh, thanks. And they go, it's my
Well,
pleasure.
that's because if they don't say it, they'll bury your body.
I mean, you might be right. And,
God, I
and
kind
when
of
they
hope
say,
I
like, the
am.
same thing every time, like, you know, it's just, you know what I mean? It makes it less legitimate. Like, I understand, like, it's probably trained to say that, but if I was, like, some executive at Chick-fil-A, I'd be like, okay, guys. I'd get all the guys in the boardroom and be like, my pleasure is good. If what we need to do is we need to come up with 10 different phrases, right? And train them all to pick one of those 10 phrases. Not like the same one every time, like everyone's assigned a phrase, but like they, you know, they'd use a different one every time. That way
Just
it's not
sounds.
suspicious, you know what I mean? Like no one's going to be like, "Oh, well, I see they use all these 10 phrases, you know. It'll seem natural." When they tell them to just say one, then it's like, "Come on. Do you really think we're that stupid? We know it's not really your pleasure." Like, do you think there's any person who gets pleasure out of serving someone a chicken sandwich?
Yes,
Like
actually, I
someone
do.
who like has an orgasm every
Well,
time they serve someone a
whenever,
chicken sandwich?
well, I have an orgasm every time I cook for you.
Okay,
I can't say it with a straight face.
that's
I don't have
that's
an
just weird.
orgasm, but I like to cook for you as well as my other friends.
Well, I mean that's good, I guess, but like, first of all, there's one big flaw in your logic, and that is that you're comparing making a home cooked meal to throwing a chicken sandwich in the a chicken breast in the fryer, right? I
Hey,
mean,
you know, sometimes that's what I do.
well, it's fine, but no one at Chick-fil-A is a chef. Like, it's not like there's a reason that like SpongeBob SquarePants is funny, right? It's funny because he goes to work every day at the Krusty Krab, and he thinks it's like the greatest job ever. The humor is derived from the fact that it clearly is not the greatest job ever by any
No,
means.
that is not the humor of SpongeBob. When you were
No,
okay,
that
so you're
that
telling me you were thinking about this at 6 years old?
no, I mean, well, certainly, yeah. I mean, clearly, when I was watching SpongeBob, I understood that. First of all, I started watching it around middle school, not 6 years old, and I understood by the time I was in middle school that working at a fast food restaurant isn't like a career that people aspire to. Like, no one wants to be a burger flipper. Like, that is like the joke of his character, right? Like, obviously,
Oh, certainly to a degree, yeah.
what do you mean to a degree? That's like his entire character for the most part. Like, he's a very sort of he's supposed to be an adult, but he's very naive, right? Like, that's kind of
Sure. Well, he does love to be a fry cook.
right. So that's the point is that there's a reason that that's humor. It's because it's not real, right? Like
But like that's
when you
never
do
used the
something.
show.
No, I mean that's like who his character. Like that's because realize that like in a comedy, like characters, they're not like. I mean, oftentimes like they'll be a straight man, as they say, right? Like Jerry Seinfeld in the show Seinfeld, like he's the normal person, and everyone else around him is like some weirdo. But in SpongeBob, like if anything, the closest thing to the straight man in SpongeBob is Squidward.
Uh, yeah, I could see that. Squidward's basic. No, Squidward is the straight man. There's no
Yeah, I mean,
closest thing. He is the straight man. I just want to say, like, he's like everyone's like the number of people who like I talk to that now relate to Squidward.
oh yeah, it's like all of them. Like
Yeah.
SpongeBob is secretly, in my opinion, like one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Like if I had to list like the best 5 TV shows, SpongeBob would easily be in the top 5.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
I
like
agree with that.
it's like Breaking Bad and then SpongeBob.